IVM.
Welcome to All Things Policy, a daily podcast supported by Pragati, a flagship media initiative of the Takshashila Institution. We're a bunch of policy nerds based in Bengaluru, and we like to bring a fresh perspective to Indian affairs and an Indian perspective to global affairs. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and join us for today's chat.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of All Things Policy. I'm Dr. Nithiyanandam, Professor and Head of Takshashila Geospatial Research Programme, and with me, Dr. Vishnu Chandra is here. Dr. Vishnu Chandra is one of a leading expert in the country on geospatial technology, having a vast experience of close to 4 decades. And previously, he was a Deputy Director General of National Information Centre, and he was part of many committees, many reforms which has taken place in India on geospatial technology. And currently, he is an advisor to Ministry of Panchayat Raj and advising on ICT and spatial planning. You're welcome to the show, sir. We look forward to your valuable insights.
Thank you.
Sir, you have been with the geospatial technology development throughout for last 30 years or so. And right from your career, you have been associated with this geospatial technology stuff. So what do you see the developments happened over the period of time in this technology in India? And where is India right now compared to 3 decades ago, sir?
Thank you, Professor. In fact, I began my journey in geospatial domain sometime in early 90s. In fact, government IT initiative started in late 80s, and geospatial was not mainstream IT that time. The key players in government, Survey of India, DST, ISRO, and NIC, they are all working in different aspects for districts. NIC network and systems are being set up connecting all districts of India through satellite-based computer communication network that time because terrestrial network was very poor. DST was doing R&D project funding and they started NRDMS. ISRO was evolving the concept called Natural Resource Information System. And DST was also setting certain district centers. Natural Resource Information System proposal was also there for district nodes. And most of the geospatial data and technology at that time was largely non-digital. Even hardware, software in terms of technology was proprietary, including data was very restrictive and was put in a digital form with a requirement of cartographic reproduction. So most of the digital data at that time was thought to be put in DGN format so that we can reproduce Survey of India topographical maps. So that was the stage in early 90s. And that is the time when, since NIC was interested with the work to set up the information system and computer communication network connecting all districts for planning purpose, and what the term we used to call government informatics, that time we were trying to address spatial as well as non-spatial databases and information system in the country through our district information system and DISNIC program, which we were implementing that time. And during that process in early 90s, NIC took certain initiatives. One is setting up of the utility mapping for Delhi, particularly in collaboration with Norwegian agencies, NORAD, for large-scale mapping of Delhi. Other thing, Natural Resource Informatics Development Initiative was initiated in collaboration with Aligarh Muslim University, giving R&D project for certain districts to set up a system or data creation system for certain districts like Aligarh, Bulandshahr, Mathura, Bharatpur, Dindigul in Tamil Nadu. And then there was a remote sensing activity was initiated in NIC Hyderabad. So that and other divisions like CAD group and other groups were set up in NIC Delhi in early 90s. Then in mid 90s, see, most of the data we used to digitize using digitizers. We used to try to do some pilots. In mid 90s, first major reform has came in geospatial policy of the country. One is Indian Society of Geomatics was set up in 94 by NIC, ISRO together. Secondly, around 95, 96, 10 agencies including NIC, ISRO, Survey of India were authorized to digitize Survey of India maps. And in mid 90s, when what you call IT systems were graduated from Unix based system to Windows, DOS, and web page design, client server technology started emerging. We started digitizing Survey of India map in mid 90s and create certain desktop applications and pilots for certain areas in watershed management and so on. So that is the stage between, you can say, 95 to 2000. In early 2000, internet has started emerging, which has a major impact on geospatial and e-governance service delivery. And the requirement of data integration from multiple sources to have integration on geographic platform started emerging. So in early 2000, web GIS concept started emerging. Integration of non-spatial databases, which were the NIC's forte with map, started emerging. And we started building certain web GIS websites using Canadian technologies called SPAN. And also during 1905 to 2000, indigenous GIS products in desktop environment, that initiative has been taken by DST, Gram Plus, with IIT Bombay. NIC was having a product called GISNIC, and ISRO was working on ISRO GIS. So many of the pilots on GISNIC, on Gram Plus, on ISRO GIS was attempted prior to arrival of internet. Then internet has a major impact on geospatial technology and information. And in mid 2000, Planning Commission took an initiative and given the support to NIC to bring all data from Survey of India, ISRO, satellite imagery on a common GIS platform and create a kind of national GIS. And during that time, the emphasis was given how to capture village boundaries in an organized, administrative boundaries in an organized manner. And by 2008-9, National GIS system, first with the support of Planning Commission, has been put in place. During that time, large scale mapping for 7 mega cities, including Delhi, using aerial photography with utility mapping, which covers Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Hyderabad. These cities, large scale mapping was also done by NIC utility mapping group. And by 2008, this is before arrival of Google, a national GIS platform with technology like ESRI ArcGIS, Hexagon Apollo server, and we have created the base map services using Survey of India topographic maps, ISRO satellite imagery up to say 5.8 meter available that time using list 3, list 4, and integrate. And then we got village boundary authenticated survey conducted through Survey of India, which we have brought on a common platform. During that time, first time we have also worked with ministries like Ministry of Panchayat Raj, where local government directory to update village boundaries, administrative boundaries as a tabular information so that we can recluster the villages to create new district boundaries under BRGF, backward region grant program of Ministry of Panchayat Raj was stated. And LGD directory and LGD code has emerged during that period as a standard. And around 2008-9, Google started coming into picture. And then that time, Planning Commission has set up a further task force for National GIS, task force for 10,000 scale mapping to upgrade 50,000 map to 10,000 scale. And NIC, ISRO, and Survey of India, including industry, that is the first time has started working together to create a national GIS system and service delivery platforms. And with Google and other players' arrival, the area like crowdsourcing, enhancing the value of geospatial data has started emerging in early, so you can say after 2010-11. By the time 2014-15 came, cloud technology has started taking into shape, getting matured, and cloud-based GIS platform with API-based map service with OGC standard, with say WMS, WFS, and so many and services with OGC ISO standards started happening. Then NIC as well as, and during that period, ISRO has also come out with Earth Observation System platform called Bhuvan. An exchange of services using OGC standards and integrating data from various verticals through API started emerging. And around 2015-16, NIC has re-engineered National GIS platform as a Bharat Map Services, and then Map Service Portal to share, exchange, map as a service, building capacity among IT professionals who are non-GIS professional to consume map as a service and integrate their own data, and integrating those services with public digital platform on cloud for say various schemes like Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Swachh Bharat Mission, environmental clearance, agriculture marketing, and so on. Many areas this started emerging, and now this kind of thing is getting more matured with cloud-based and automation of various processes, emerging of new technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning, real-time imagery, integration of IoTs, sensors, integration of BIM and other engineering systems, and then moving into further advanced areas where engineering data, large-scale data can be built for future systems. And current national geospatial policy is basically trying to address this new paradigm shift, in particularly what you call digital transformation, where geospatial is going to play a major role in connecting, locating services delivery with the people and the masses. So this is what you can call a gradual incremental growth and revolution which is happening since early 90s till date.
It's very interesting, sir. In fact, you are among the very few who can able to narrate the entire development happened in 30 years in India. Because I'm sure with your experience, you were involved, in fact, in many of this project. That's what you could able to tell us about the development. So I was just wondering, since all these things are happening along with the developments happening in the rest of the world on the geospatial technology, I was particularly interested to understand when was the time Indian government has realized the necessity to incorporate geospatial technology in its planning, project implementation, and policy making.
See,
or in other words, what has actually made them to think GIS is a worthy tool to incorporate?
As I said, historically, with technology transformation and technology shift, need has emerged and policy reforms has also emerged. So whatever the technologies in mid-90s was available, that time it was thought we don't have any digital geospatial data. The reference, base map reference was Survey of India topographic map available. So that first policy reforms means government has thought in governance, geospatial information has to come in next decade. So first policy reform happened in mid-90s. That is what that time government thought, and say we must have a digital geospatial data. And 10 agencies were authorized to digitize Survey of India maps. Around mid-90s, it is not only government, private sector initiative has also happened. Your Map My India has come in mid-90s to create indigenous maps. So, but down the line 10 years, internet came, and in mid-2000, next level of reform came. Map Policy 2005, where further liberalization of policy, these you can integrate the data, you can disseminate service in government to government domain with login password to begin with. Ministry of Defense started giving clearances for web GIS, though we have to interact a lot with defense people that time. So the new reforms in view of emergence of internet technology that time, the web-based system in that time, so mid 2000, that reform has come. Now, then from internet moving to cloud, that is another technology, and crowdsourcing, voluntary data, value adding geospatial data online through real time systems. Now, these things started emerging, you can say between 2010 and so. But I will say that our government or governance structure, there were great visionary people in NIC, ISRO, DST who has thought in advance. Dr. Sheshagiri, U.R. Rao, Professor U.R. Rao, Chairman ISRO Kasturi Rangan Saab, similarly Mr. Rammurthy of DST, all these people, Dr. Shailesh Nayak, all these people, they thought, okay, down the line, next 10 years or 15 years, 20 years, what needs to be done? So government was always thinking to how to move forward. So first geospatial policy reform came in mid-90s, second came around 2005, and now major reform is current National Geospatial 2022 to take India in geospatial domain, say next 15, 20 years down the line. So this is what is with change of technology, with technology shift, reforms process, and emergence of new systems and new technologies, new transformation is always happening in India, irrespective of political government.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to All Things Policy. We'll be right back after a short commercial break.
Since you were involved in the process of making national geospatial policy, can you throw us some insight on when and how this national geospatial policy drafting has started, and what could be the potential benefit for a common people, a research community, private industry, and the government, which is envisaged through this new national geospatial policy?
Actually, say after 2005, whatever the geospatial policy has emerged, there always a thought process around 2015-16. That policy is slowly outlived the needs for next generation technology changes. So that thought process started emerging around 2015-16, and certain committees, drafts, all those things, because ultimately how to break the vertical silos, how to exchange data, open data. See, national data sharing and accessibility policy minus geospatial has happened in 2012. So open data platform as a data.gov.in has already been implemented by NIC. So mid 2015-16, open data platforms or open data systems, they were getting matured. But in terms of geospatial content on open data platforms was not happening. So that thing slowly, after several rounds of discussions and other things, now happen in 2022. Similarly, emergence of new technology like drone policy has come, new space policy has come. This together has trying to liberalize the system. Now, in terms of benefits, what you are saying, it has huge benefit for definitely for citizens in terms of delivery of services, requirement in say 10 to 15 years, lot of opportunities for private sector, from data collection, survey to data processing, application development to delivery of services, to create geospatial infrastructure, enterprise systems, or bringing geospatial on public digital platform for service delivery, and also definitely for governance, because definitely location based services embedded with existing public digital platform, whether it is related to transport, whether it is related to GST, financial system, crop management, and any area. So this new policy has added what you call new transformation change in next another 2 decades time. So that is what my say on this.
Thank you. So, in your opinion, what is the most significant challenge in implementing the national geospatial policies? Because as we can see, it is very ambitious. It requires a coordination of many government departments and it has several milestones. So, what would be the most challenging aspect in this new geospatial policies?
See, this policy is very progressive. It sets a lot of milestone, say for next 15, 20 years. It has major role given to different ministries and departments, including to private sector for private enterprise, unleashing the private enterprise and what you call investment from private sector also. What it does, and also of course, apart from technology services and application development, data development of different kind, it also add new dimension of what you call capacity and skill development. You need to have a national geospatial skill development framework. So that emphasis is also there. Also, it linked the policy with what you call United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, what you call UNGGIM, and 14 fundamental themes, which is a major contribution in this policy. See, those 14 themes, which are very relevant for implementation of SDG goals on and set India to move at a very fast pace during Amrit Kal, what you call, and make India Atmanirbhar Bharat in this area, is those 14 themes which are similar or same as different category of layers in topographic maps of Survey of India. So now that content of topographic map has to be generated at very large scale in a mission mode and with high level of accuracy, so that it is much beyond 50,000 scale. And those 14 themes, the mandate of those 14 themes have been given to different ministries and departments. For example, Ministry of Panchayati Raj has been mandated for 3 components. One is buildings and settlements, physical infrastructure, and third is addresses. Now, similarly, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs is mandated for similar category of themes for urban areas, including digital twins. Now, major challenge is how to equip various ministries and departments to formulate the requirements, to have necessary collaborations, to set a system for standards for different kinds, like standards for survey, standards for data processing, data schema for data, workflow and process standard, and standards for service delivery. Now, that is a huge task. So if Ministry of Panchayati Raj has to take, say, a development of addresses, national address database for rural areas, definitely that there are multiple stakeholders. Department of Post is one of them. Department of Post can do the digital addressing system. But major issue is how it will be updated from authentic source. Authentic source for, say, for example, addresses is local bodies, municipal agencies. They don't build address database, but they collect addresses, maybe part of land records or some other system. So when a change happen, address has to change. Some new floor comes, address has to change. Somebody shifts, address has to change. Now, if that kind of platform of data building and update, so you need to have a structure in place where all data creation, survey in a standard format, its processing, its updates, connecting all stakeholders. This brings lot of opportunities for private sector. Of course, it will improve the quality of public digital platform. So that is the major challenge. There are 6-7 kind of activities, starting from building large scale map to what you call creating a what you call spatial data infrastructure platforms, developing unified geospatial interface, creating a national data registry, digital twins, system for blue economy, ocean navigational systems, building capacities and skills, all digital twins, all these timelines and targets which are set in policy has to be converted in well-defined mission projects with complete authority and proper budgeting and resources to respective mandated organizations. So this is the major challenge. And of course, when 14 themes, 14 departments will generate the data, there has to be a nodal agency for integration to bring a single unified large scale base map. Either Survey of India should take that assignment, because one agency is generating one layer of information, other agency is generating other layer of information, bringing it together on a common platform with proper attributes and updates, processes and other things. That integration is going to be another major challenge. Of course, capacity building from surveying, licensing, license surveys, different levels required, from what you call policy level makers to actual developers, that program managers, different categories of information on user side as well as technology side. That is also going to be a major challenge. We need to create end-to-end ecosystem where all these things can be implemented in defined timeline.
Many thanks for bringing out the challenges right up front in a clear manner, sir. So we all now clear there's many challenges right in front of us, and we hope India can handle it. The nodal directorate can handle it well-mannered way in order to achieve the targets on time. And sir, you have been known as a person who delivers wherever you have been associated, and different, even you are at DDG and with different responsibilities starting from renewable energy or even IPR. So now you have taken a new responsibility on your hat in Ministry of Panchayat Raj. So we want to know what we can expect under your guidance, under your advice in this ministry, or especially on geospatial technology on the days to come, sir.
Actually, I was associated with Ministry of Panchayati Raj during my service at NIC, and we were handling their major geospatial systems and platforms. In fact, that work is still continuing, because Ministry of Panchayati Raj is a major player for rural economy. And since last 15 to see, my association with Panchayati Raj goes back to 2008, 2009. And during that time, since that time, we try to integrate maps in their systems. So their core system one is, of course, local government directory, which is now de facto standard for administrative codification of administrative boundaries and locations. Other was Gram Panchayat development planning systems, e-Panchayat systems, where complete profile of panchayats, assets of panchayat, their financial and accounting system, these are being developed by NIC as a workflow systems. And we were at every stage of technology shift, we are integrating geospatial data there. Currently, major scheme since 2020, which has come, everybody knows about it, is Swamitwa scheme, which deals with creating of property records for Abadi area in villages using drone technology, where Survey of India is the partner, NIC is the partner for data integration and service delivery. And entire Swamitwa platform, IT platform, is managed by where my continuing services will be required. And we have a platform for Gram Panchayat development planning called Gram Manchitra, where Bharat Map services are integrated, services from ISRO are integrated, and services through API from various line ministries, 29 sector services are being integrated. And village boundaries and all these things we regular update through LGD directory system by rearranging, reclustering the changes updated by revenue authorities from districts. So that change management is also in place. Now, major challenge which we are facing is, which we are working Panchayati Raj with Department of Land Resources. One is, Of course, these Abadi area maps data started coming and getting integrated, including the image data as well as 3D DEM and as well as vector data related to record of houses. Then integrating Abadi area data with non-Abadi area, what we call Bhunaksha, that is a major challenge where Swamitva scheme has another component called CORS network, which they are setting up Survey of India. So how to georeference legacy maps and integrate, because legacy maps are in 4000 scale and Abadi area map is in 500 scale with 5 centimeter accuracy, integrating both maps to create seamless large scale map of villages. That is one challenge. Plus, once 3D, DEM and all that will come, how to create tools for various planning requirements like check dam, soil erosion, natural resource management, even for water supply network, your what you call even street lights. So certain tools with what you call spatial budgeting means you can build a plan and template of a plan and automatically along with the plan estimated cost to implement comes, which as a part of workflow can be approved by Panchayat functionaries and government functionaries for ground implementation. So that process we are trying to set now, and enhanced Gram Panchayat Special Development Planning Framework. The necessary guidelines is now being prepared. Along with that, I am advising how to build systems for what we call a mandate given to Ministry of Panchayati Raj under National Geospatial Policy, what kind of standards for physical infrastructure, buildings and settlements and addresses. So these are the things which now I am advising Ministry of Panchayati Raj and hope some things get implemented and things can move forward.
Our best wishes to your new innings, sir. And thank you so much for your insights and your time and for sharing, most importantly, sharing your precious information with our viewers. And many thanks again for joining us today, sir.
Thank you very much. It is my pleasure to be associated with this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
If you liked our show, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can tune into them on the IVM Podcast app, ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also follow IVM on social media. The handle is @IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And hey, if you'd like to dive into Takshashila's research on technology, strategy, and economic affairs, check us out at our Twitter handle @Takshashila INST or our website takshashila.org.in.